Hey guys, welcome back. So, back in the shop and we are starting a new project. I've been teasing it a little bit, but it's not the one you think, it's not the little roller wheel. Mainly because I want to get into a bigger project, which has been the yard, the front yard, which I've been talking about probably for the last month or so because I've just been wanting to get into it. Now that I've finally got the budget to do so, I've been out there and I've been measuring and taking some photos for all of you so you can see the before and the after photos and the videos and all that sort of stuff. So what I got, we'll throw up a couple of before shots here so you can see the front yard. You can see it's a bit of disrepair there where I've dug up around some stump grinders, or dug up around the stumps to allow for stump grinding so that we can clear that whole area out. So that all that sort of shrubbery is going to get cut back and that whole front yard is going to get a complete remodel. The only things that are going to stay there is the flax bush and that big palm, which I can't get rid of because it's just too much hard work. But as you can see, that old rickety fence, that is going. That is the first thing. But in order to be time efficient, especially because I have a little dog and he likes to, explore as they do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the majority of the fence in the shop first, the panels, and then we're going to rip down the fence, put in the posts, set the posts in concrete, put a mowing strip in there so that it's got a nice area to mow to. And then the rest of the fence will get put in. So, to give you a bit of an idea of the design process that we've gone through, we have our total width, which is 15 metres and 800 mils, so 15.8 metres across, and then to the back edge of the house, it is 8.5 metres. Okay, so those points between our far fence here and the edge of the house, 4.7 metres. Current deck is 1900. Then we have a little alcove that comes in here for the front door, which you would have seen in the photos. Got a double gate for the start. Got our tree here. Got where our garage from the neighbour's property is here. So we've got all our dimensions that matter. Okay. As well as that, we also have side dimensions. Okay, this is just the side elevation of the house, showing from ground level up to the top of the deck, which is 700 mils, up to the underside of the doorway, which is 2.7, to the underside of the fascia and gable end is 2850, and then it's on a 20-degree angle for our roof. So nice and simple, those are the types of measurements you've got to make to be able to put that sort of information into our computer, because what I like doing, because I've always yielded really good results, is by putting things into Sketchup, which is a free design software designed and available from Google. So yeah, we use SketchUp, or I use SketchUp to be able to give my customers a good design idea so they can actually see it in 3 dimensions, because us explaining it to customers using what we think is basic building knowledge is not basic building knowledge to them. They need to be able to see it so they can visualize it, actually like by eye, whereas us in the trade, we can say 4x2, 6x2, running 3.2, yada 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 yada. We can go on forever. We all know what we're talking about, but customers have no idea. So if you want to be transparent to your customers and you want to make sure that they understand exactly what they're getting, so you don't have any surprises at the end and they go, oh, this is not what I thought was going to be built. Skip all of that, take some time and put it on SketchUp. We even draw up a simple design. If you're any good with a pencil and a ruler, do it that way. But with technology being the way that it is, it's not that hard to learn SketchUp. I mean, I don't even use a mouse. I don't even use the tricky all gadgets and gizmos that they've got. but I've been able to, fumble my way through over the last few years, worked it out, and got a fairly good handle on it. So, let's have a look. So as you can see, I have a big panel, small panel, small panel sort of design here going on, and that was because of the size of it and what I wanted to do with it, because I want to be able to put a front entranceway here with a letterbox that will go straight down into the house, which you'll see in a second. So what we're using here is 90 by 90 posts. It's going to be 1500 high, which is 1.5 meters. This panel here is going to be about 1200 high here, and then this bit of timber you can see here is going to be a floating. The idea is to make it look floating. So we're going to have stainless steel rod with nuts holding it in place in between the timber, so it won't move or warp or do anything silly. And it's just a little bit of a contemporary design with, the type of fence that it is, because I want to make it a little bit special, a little bit bespokey sort of design, a little bit of my bit of flair, how I like to do things. I like to do things almost overkill in a sense, but I like my stuff to last. Whatever I build, I want it to last. Okay, so mowing strip, posts, in between, gate. The little front gate's going to have this little drop here in the corner, so it's going to look quite nice. So, and we key in a few other of our things, and we will show you exactly the idea here. So, as it starts to become more apparent, okay, you can see just what I'm up to here. So, I'm sure you can imagine by now, showing this to a client would really get their attention. Okay, now they can actually see exactly what they're going to get. Okay, so if we zoom in here on the fence, now don't mind my little foible here. This was because this component was the same thing. This was a copy of this and I flipped it around, but that brace there is not going to be that is not going to be on the front, it's going to be on the back. So if we have a look down here, so you can see here the front fences are going to be a little bit different design. I may play around with the insert and how that's going to work, but yeah, whatever that I end up doing with that, it's going to look quite nice and quite original without being too sort of gnarly. And that's the roof idea at the moment. What will probably end up happening is this roof here, rather than being below, it will actually be an extension of this roof. So we end up taking off this gable line here that you've seen in the existing photos. This will connect in with it, and then we'll have posts down here, and we'll probably have a beam running from point to point here with some decorative stuff going on down here. For our entranceway, just to kind of keep in keeping with the age of the house, because for some reason this house has been recladded and re-windowed, so all the old windows are now aluminium windows, which are good because there's no rot in them, which is really nice. And it's also been recladded with a Hardy's sort of 7mm weatherboard. So it's quite tough and quite durable, but the only problem with that is it's kind of taken away a little bit of the character from the 1920s bungalow that it is. So I'm going to try and bring back a little bit of that flavour, because I mean, who doesn't love a 1920s bungalow, especially with a little bit of modern style. That's kind of what is on trend at the moment. So that whole fence is going to, or that whole deck, sorry, is going to disappear. This is going to be rebuilt completely. It's going to come right out. We're going to have a step coming down onto the driveway. So the idea is you drive in, get out of your car, go up the steps into the entranceway or through that door. this window here is obviously bigger than what is in the picture, so that's going to get changed as well. And then we have posts through here, so that ease of access here. I'll show you around here. Okay, so you have your front door there, and then this whole new deck extension out here. Because this is a north-facing house, we want to make absolute use of this area because it gets so much sun during the day. And then as you can see, have a look over here. So you can see a nice concrete pathway, and that's going to lead into this. Now, unfortunately, the entranceway of the house is not centre to the area between the driveway and the outside wall. So for me, for things to work and to look nice and not to look all naff, the front gate and the front door are askew slightly by about 800 mils. But I decided to go with it because any other option would not have worked and it would look ugly. And that is going to be our project for the next couple of months, is working on this, getting this right and ready, and hopefully come Christmas it will be all done, because obviously I work a 45 hour week during the week, so this is going to be weekend and nighttime work now that summer is going to be with us. So that's going to be us. It's going to look wicked. I'm really excited. So is Nicole, my wife. She's really looking forward to how it's going to turn out, and her undying confidence in what I'm able to do or what we're able to achieve. So that's going to look really cool. Right. So after I just blew your mind with all that information, and you can see just how things work, and you know how to use SketchUp effectively to give to your clients or anything like that, I highly recommend using it. It is the best sort of free software that you can use. It's easy to navigate. The main tricks with it is using it properly. Once you've designed an element, group it, then component it, and group everything, and then layer it if you can figure that out. But honestly, YouTube, how to use it took me about sort of 6 months to a year to really get my head around it, because it takes a long time. You know, I'm not the most computer literate person in the world, but I make do, and I just keep going until I figured it out. Okay, so there you go. So that's what you got to look forward to. So this week I've got a garage. I've got a trailer, and I'm going to go and pick up a whole heap of timber for this, let it dry in my garage, and then I'm going to start cutting it up and putting all the panels together. And then once I've got all the panels together, I know all my distances between my posts, and then I can rip down the old fence, throw in the new one, and Bob's your uncle. Now obviously all the hardware is going to be stainless steel, because I don't like Galvy. Galvy's cheap, and it doesn't last forever, whereas stainless steel will last a lifetime. Okay, so that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching. I will try to be a bit more frequent with my videos. I've just had a bit of a hard time in the last few weeks. One of my very dear friends passed away recently, so my time has been devoted to that, to going up to Auckland and spending time with his family, making sure that, you know, my other friends are okay. And yeah, it's not easy when someone passes, especially someone that's close to you, especially one of the boys that you grew up with as a young man. It's never easy. And yeah, people, if you have any sort of issues, if you're going through hard times, don't hesitate to ask for help, because it is there. It's a very close subject to me. It's very hard to talk about, but yeah, if you're going through troubles, reach out, talk to someone, let someone know that you're battling, because like everyone says, you know, that is involved, you know, it's not a shame to talk about what you're struggling about. So yeah. Alright guys, to end on a somber note, but yeah. Alright, so even if any of you fellas want to have a chat at any time, give me a holler, I don't care. You know, may not even know you, but you know, a bit of advice or, you know, a kind word can go a long way for a lot of people sometimes. So yeah, do unto others, all that sort of stuff. Alright guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I will let you go, and yeah, let's get ready for some building videos in the next week. Woohoo! Cheers guys, have a good night. See ya.